Hello everyone, my name is Oksana and I welcome you at my little cross-stitch corner. My channel named is Crafts Journey, so hello. Why it is Crafts Journey, and I'm going to show you only cross stitch. I was planning to do a lot of different type of crafts, but I kind of stick to cross stitch only. I don't know if ever you will see anything else, but it is what it is. I just want to apologize. English is not my main language, so you are going to roll with it. As well as me too. I'm going to roll with it together with you. Let's have some fun. Okay, this is my second video in English. Hopefully it will go okay. This is my third start. I'm trying the third time to start this video. Anyway, I am not going to, as I said, I'm not going to show you guys all my projects, etc. I kind of started my English version of channel in a weird way, but it is what it is. What I want to say is that right now you see Golden Kite up in front of you. This is, you know, it's like heaven and earth designs, similar to that. It's like it's a crazy one. There are a lot of single stitches, a lot of confetti. It's a crazy thing. So what do I have? This video by itself, and probably all of them, will be a little bit strange. So usually the way how I do, I stage, of course I stage every week. I do one video a week, like my results, and in every single video I have a decision wheel. Gives me an idea what I'm going to stitch on the upcoming week, and I have several decision wheels, tiny ideas decision wheels. I'm a seasonal stitcher, and I have more than 5 actually decision wheels. You will say, hey, there's only 4 seasons. Yeah, I have 4 wheels which are seasonal, and all my projects are divided by a seasonality, with exception I have some projects which I consider like multi-seasonal, so they are present in several wheels. And I have a super wheel which contains absolutely every single project which I have, regardless of a season, and what you call it, I use it at the end of I roll, not, it's not roll it, what do you call it, what do you call it? Tell me and I'll tell you. So at the end of every month I'm using it, this super one. The reason why is it's my idea just to give attention to random project outside of the season. But what I paid attention that the super wheel, that's what I call it, always give me seasonal projects for some kind of reason. I don't know why. It's a very rare occasion when it gives me off-season project, but most of the time it gives me seasonal projects, which is very suspicious for me. But anyway, at the end of this video I will insert a portion where I use those wheels. I will try to do voiceover because the way how my decision wheel is created is that it doesn't repeat the ones which are already chosen, and I make this video twice right now. It's in English and on a different language. So if I already rotate it one time, I cannot redo it, reuse it, because now I'm not going to have the same results, and I wouldn't be able to stitch multiple different projects because I do this video into different languages. So it will be awkward, it will be weird, and I do understand my whole channel is becoming like something like crazy. We will see. Hopefully I will settle down. Right now it's going to be a little bit messy because I'm still trying to figure out what in the heck am I doing and how I'm going to do it. Anyway, so just because today I have 1st of March, and of course we are at some progress. So this is I have a focus piece for each month. Oh man, I think I just need to make a separate video for y'all to explain. So I have an idea that um, every month I would like to have a focus piece, which means like I'm going to take it every single week during the months, and I will stitch about 1,000 stitches on it. And the decision which I'm taking, what will be my focus piece? Most of the time, if a project has less than 4,000 stitches left, 4,000 or less, it is automatically becoming my focus project. And it means that I will finish it within a season. But if I don't have any projects, seasonal projects, which has that little left, I rotate a wheel, which will tell me what will be a focus project for the month. At the beginning of March, I did that, and it told me that I need to make this as my focus piece for March. It's a crazy one. It is. I'm stitching it on 28 count. I think it is antique white. The stitch count is 400 by, it's not stitch count, it's the size 400 by 523. And I'm stitching tenth or half stitch 2/1. And I don't like it. I don't like it. It is extremely tough. It has, I think I didn't write it down, but I think it has like 200 something colors, where you have 101, I think, blends and 99 solids. So this project is pretty much just blends. And when you do it 2/1, it's becoming crazy because you have that confetti. You need somehow to secure that one or half of a stitch, or single half of a stitch, and that's it. I started it in 2023, I guess. This project is pretty old. It doesn't have a lot of progress, but trust me, just because it is like 400 by 523 and you do over 1 on 28 count, it is actually a really, really big project. Now, so just because it's my focus piece for the March, I stitched, so in general, I am almost done with the water piece, almost done with the ocean. Oh, the name is Slaget Ikage. This should, like, it's Danish name. I probably butcher it because I have no clue. I don't know who is the, I don't remember who is the painter. I remember someone told me it like a couple of years ago. I didn't write it down. I could not, by picture, I could not find who is the original painter. Golden Kite, they don't tell you. They don't give you this information, so I don't know who is original who's the person. But anyway, I'm stitching right now water. And let me tell you, water seems to be is the most difficult so far. Especially where you have this sea foam. Oh my gosh, there is like, you will select like a 3x4 piece, like square, to stitch inside, and you may have like 120 colors, where 99 colors will be single stitches. I'm exaggerating, maybe not 99, but about 70. At least a half, if not more, will be single stitches, and it will be crazy. And especially the most difficult parts to stitch is exactly where the sea foam and around, where you have like this. There is still a lot of colors in this piece, but you have more surface to cover with one color than when you have a foam. This week, which I was stitching, this like which week just ended, I was finishing a piece of here. You probably will already see a preview somewhere. I finished this row, and I went on this side, but that didn't went very well. I kind of switched to this side also and did some stitching on this side too. So what happened? let me show you a little bit. As you may see, on this left-hand side, there is another shape on the background. There is like a little bit behind. Sea spray, whatever the water spray, or from this one, or whatever the thing is. So there is one at the distance, right? There is another one in here. I'm not sure what's this, but this is just something. So when I finished the row, the water portion, I want to say that this horizon, it's not the horizon yet. I still need to stitch a little bit of foam and sea, or maybe it's ocean, and then switch to the sky. So this line in here, it still will be a mix between water and the sky, and that will be really, really difficult to stitch because it will have bajillion of single stitches and I will cry, and I know that, but it is what it is. So when I finish this one, I'm like, okay, I'm here, let me go up, and then I will start stitching from left to right. Well, that didn't went very well. The reason why, because as I said, there is a ship on the background and some colors which I used in water, and my thread was parked somewhere here. It also used in this background shape, and actually it's very like 3D, I would say, and that's what I don't like. That's why I regret, but I don't want stitching this way. I'm going to change. I still have one more golden kite to stitch, which I really, really love, and that one I'll probably will stitch on 16 count, bigger count, so it will be easier to secure thread, and maybe it's not going to be that crazy 3D, but this is, I did too much. I spent almost 3 years stitching this part. I'm like, I'm not undoing it. Anyway, I'm not that crazy. I will continue. I'm almost done with, I think, more difficult part. We'll see. But anyway, so just because these colors which were in the water were also in this background shape, I had to go and try to find where this color is parked, so I can go from somewhere here to the left, and I would do like a couple of threads. I got tired of it. I'm like, I don't want to sit and search for these necessary threads to go this way, and I don't secure it every 3 stitches, right? I can drag my thread over 20 or 30 stitches, because here's the 10 by 10. My finger, my little finger, I have very small hands. This 10 by 10, the tip of my finger totally covering it. So you understand, it's not that big of a drag of a thread, so I'm not worried about that. But I got tired, and I was like, okay. Plus, I started doing a lot of single stitches, and I was crying about it. And this is where I went and I created that Dimensions Aurora cabin video, because I was like, I would rather do that video rather than stitch this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want, but I went back and I'm like, let me switch here, because I'm stitching this way, right? So I'm using these threads, even some of the light ones, when I just, I have Saga for this. Even when it's light thread, I saw that I'm still taking it and going this way, and I'm like, all of this will go this way. I'm like, no, I don't want to do it. It's a pain in the ass to find this thread, so I decided to switch to this side, right? And of course here I would probably, this will go more straight, because I can guarantee that not many white colors will be in this middle shape. So from this side I probably will go up. And as I said, there is still quite a bit stitch of the water. I'm not saying the next section when I go to the sky will be easier, because now I need to stitch white over white, which is very exciting, right? Not much, right? But here, the biggest piece of a water, sea foam, if I have to stitch, I will go this way, for example, right? And it will be like not much difference between water and the sky, and will be a lot of colors, like just solidly stitched, not solidly, but just going and stitching like more than one stitch, more than 10 or 20. But while I'm on a horizon, I still have these single stitches here, and then I'm switching to more lighter ones. So when I switch to this side, as you may see, I know it's not pretty, but as you may see, I have quite a bit good piece stitched, and these colors, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 different colors, but it was like 30, 50, 80 stitches, but I still had single ones. And when I was single after single, because I wanted to you know, close, I'm trying to not do a lot of spread because then I get lost and I make mistakes. I'm trying to do like 2 squares by 2 squares, 2 by 1, I would say, filling in. And when I start filling in everything what was missing, and there were a lot of single stitches again, my head, I was already lightheaded from all the single stitches, and I said, screw it. I ended. So I spent 2 days stitching a little bit in here and a little bit in here, and I stitched 1,000 half stitches, which is 500 stitches in 2 days. It's not much, but I know that right now there is a pretty difficult, not super difficult, but still difficult piece is going on. This project is for years. I just hope that once I will switch to the sky, it will get slightly faster. I know that this ship probably is not going to be that easy, but but surprisingly enough, I saw that there is not that big confetti even in the ship comparing to the water. There is less confetti, less single stitches. So I think that surprisingly enough, ship can go faster. I mean, not faster, I'm sorry, easier, maybe easier, less painful. Anyway, let me put you on pause. I will remove this big scroll frame and I'll show you what else I was stitching this week. So I'll show you this project. As I said, I have my decision wheels, my spring decision wheel. When I roll it, it showed me that for this week, which has ended, I should take this project. It just gave me this result. I saw a lot of girls do, okay, I have the whole week. I'm usually stitching every single day different project, and they use the decision wheel and to decide what is on Monday, what is on Tuesday, and so on. I don't do it. When I use my decision wheel, it's pretty much, it is telling me, okay, how it is better to explain. I do it only one time. I choose only one, it chooses for me only one project, and I spend 2 days for that project. The rest of the week is going to whatever project I feel like I want to stitch. So I have freedom. I gave freedom myself to stitch because I really don't want to be tied to any schedule, to any plans, because now it's no longer enjoyment, it's becoming a job, and I really hate it. I tried to have I tried to do it like 2 years ago, and I really hate it, especially when I'm in a mood to stitch something different, or I'm in a mood to start a project, but I have a plan that this day I need to do this and that, and I'm very, like, I need to stick to the plan. I cannot, because if I'm not going to stick to the plan, I will be disappointed, I will be upset, and it was a lose-lose situation, so I was upset and disappointed that I'm not stitching what I feel like, what my soul asks, but in the same time I knew that I will be sad and disappointed if I wouldn't do what I planned on, right? So I decided, screw that idea, I'm not going to do it. So my wheel gives me an idea what to stitch during the week for 2 days, like 1,000 stitches. That's what I'm trying to give every single project, 1,000 stitches. It's about 500 stitches a day, and then I have a free wheel. So I have focus project, 2 days, then I have seasonal wheel, 2 days. So now you have the 4 days in a week already dedicated to projects. And then I do my free will project another 2 days. It's a 6-day, and every single Saturday, with some exceptions, I stitch dimensions gold. Okay, so let me just show you this project because it's probably not interesting, and I'm going to talk about that if I wouldn't forget. Okay, oh, give me a second. This is how it looks like. So for the dimensions, I'm not showing dimensions every single week because I dedicate only one day to it. I stitch about 500 stitches, and usually I show that project every 2000 stitches. I'm usually not taking it during the weeks where I roll my super wheel. But as I said, it depends. Anyway, back to Riolis. This one doesn't have a name. It's a very old project, a very old kit, which they were producing bajillion of years ago. It is 1398. The year, will I find a year in here? It says 2013, but I think it's, I don't know, I feel like it's probably older. Anyway, these wool wool acrylic threads. Majority of Riolis's kits wool acrylic. Some of them do have anchor threads, and I do have projects which I finished in anchor from Riolis. Anyway, what I was stitching, again, you will see preview how it was looking like at the beginning of the week. I finished, no, I'm sorry, not finished. I added stitches to a lot of flowers. This flower, this one is almost done. I still left a little bit in the middle. I stitched this greenery on the background, and I switched to these flowers. I use Nerge square hoops, and I have a hoop holder, so that's why usually when I start from the middle, I go if I'm using the hoop holder, I'm going into bottom right corner because I love to stitch from bottom to top. That's how I love to stitch. My stitches look way much neater that way than if I'm going from top to down to bottom. If I'm stitching in hand, I usually go the opposite direction. I usually go in the top right corner and stitch from top to bottom, and the bottom left corner is the last one because this is where usually on this side I hold a hoop with my hand, and I don't want to jam anything what is already stitched. I don't have grime protection, so yeah, so that's how I'm deciding which way I'm going when I'm starting from the middle. Thank God I have hoop holder, so I'm going into my favorite location. All right, so I added here 1,000 stitches, as I said, on pretty much projects which are not extremely difficult. I'm trying to add 1,000 stitches a week, with exception dimensions gold, but I explained it to you earlier. There is nothing else I can tell you about this. Oh, this kit also contains, this was surprise for me, but this kit contains, do you show me, where is it? It has beads, where is it? Give me a second, guys. It has a little package with beads. I don't know where is it. It is somewhere. It has beads, which you add on this little tail ends. I'm adding it at the end. Okay, so my next project is, this is a project which, as I said, I call it a free will project. So those are 2 extra days which I have dedicated, like I have in a week, right? They are not extra days in a week. We have 7 days a week, but as I said, like you have focus piece for 2 days, you know, like spring wheel decision, whatever, for 2 days, and I have 3 more days to decide whatever I want to stitch. Now, that's what I call free will. My free will project is, okay, let me take this away. I'm not scared to show my back, but I'm not sure it's very interesting for you. So my free will project is, okay, this way, all right. Mereshka. So this one is called Spring Sampler. Okay, guys, there is one thing which I want to tell you. I want to celebrate with you, but maybe congratulate you or whatnot, to tell you, hey, happy spring equinox. We had today is 21st of March, but yesterday 20th of March was spring equinox. And this project I started on a spring equinox last year. I try to dedicate certain projects to big holidays, but I'm not doing it every year, right? For example, this project I started on spring equinox last year, but this year I'm not starting another one, right? I am, just because I already have one, I decided that I'm going to use exactly this project on these days, you know, just kind of stitch in all my spring equinoxes in my spring equinox like 100% of the time. And if this project will be given to me on any other week, of course I'm going to take it, right? So it's either spring decision wheel or my super wheel will give it, doesn't matter. But I made a rule that if I dedicated a project to a certain holiday, I need to make sure that every year I'm taking this particular project on this particular holiday for sure. So just because we had spring equinox and I took this project. Now, there is a series for this particular series, buttery. There is a series. I have spring, I have winter, and I have summer. I think I have summer. I know that I definitely don't have fall kit, and I would like to have it, but every time I need to go and search for it. I even don't know where to buy it. It's a very old one too. The interesting part was this particular kits or series. Unlike any other mereshkas, I stitched. I think I had one finished mereshka. And I saw a lot of girls stitching it, and it's like every single kit has one solid piece. But if you will take a look very closely, it's more like a plique, and as you will see, you have these little pieces. This kit contains two fabrics. It has this fabric, little one, and you have main big piece. And I'm going to show you this big piece. And you have this one. So in the kit, you have two fabrics. Of course, you have floss, you have chart, and you have a very, very special instruction, not only how to locate all these little pieces on this particular cut. They showed like this little house you put on top, and the rest three you kind of oriented in here. Then you need to cut it. In the instruction they do said, do not secure, like don't do anything to the edges. So that will be fun to stitch. They said use instruction as sample how to locate, orient these pieces. Then you have to cut it, and once you're done, I mean, you stitch all of them in here with a proper orientation, then you cut them, and then you sew them on top of this one. But the step number one is to stitch the background first, and then you will stitch other pieces. So I'm not anywhere close to the finish. As you may see, I stitched the top right corner because in the past I didn't have a hoop holder and I was stitching it in hand. And as I said, if I'm stitching it in hand, I'm always going from center to top right corner and then go down. Now I have a hoop holder, but what happened, if you may see with the preview, pretty much almost whole top was stitched. And I mean like the main part of this of the project. Where is my a little wand, magic wand? Well, it's broken one, but anyway, will work. If you will take a look, pretty much this portion of the background is stitched. So now I need to stitch the bottom one, which is fine, which is good. And so what I finished these flowers, like I needed to stitch, like finish this one. So that's what I finished. I finished this piece. I also stitch the backstage. Most of projects, I do backstitch as I go, because I don't mind backstitching. I don't hate it. I don't have like ecstatic enjoyment out of it, but some of the backstitches I'm looking forward. I had a project which had bajillion of backstitches, and to my personal surprise, that little project, I stitched because I wanted to do the backstitch on it. I don't know why. The project was super funny, but I actually chose it because I wanted to do backstage. I stitched, as I said, some projects I do backstitch at the end, once I'm done stitching everything. But majority of projects I prefer to do backstitch as I go, because most of the time it's not because as I said, not because I don't like it, but because when I'm done stitching regular stitches, I feel like I'm done with the project and I don't want to go back and sit on it longer, right, any longer. So, but when I need to go return back and start doing backstitch, I feel like I am not having any progress on a project. It never ends. So that's why, just because of that feeling, not because I hate backstitching, just because of the feeling that this project doesn't feel like to have an end. I visually it's ended, but it's not ended yet, and you don't understand when it's going to end. That feeling I don't like. So most of projects I do backstitch as I go, but not all of them. Some of them I actually, as I said, I don't mind to do backstitch at the end. I was stitching from Stony Creek Beach Heaven. That project had a lot of backstitch, also just like a lot of backstitching. Surprisingly enough, it was not a small project, it was a big one. I think it was even bigger than the Mereshka which you're looking at, and I did backstitch at the end. I really wanted to do backstitch at the end, and I really enjoyed it. So, but this one, it's one of the projects where I do backstitches as I go. So I can tell you, announce that this portion is done. So I also did this brown work. Okay, it's like black work, but with brown colors. Hey, don't tell me brown work, it's something different, okay? And I already switched to this greenery for the bottom portion of this bouquet. I still have a lot to stitch, right? I don't think I even have a quarter of it. I have saga on it. I made saga myself. You know what's interesting? I know Mereshka has, right now, it has Fantastitch, their app. And I heard from I Stitch Birds, from Laura, I heard that actually when she was telling it, I'm like, oh, I didn't know it exists. So she's kind of introduced me to that. They have an instruction in Fantastitch what you can do to request the electronic chart for the project you have. And they have instruction. Unfortunately, I tried to do it with, was it this one? No, I had a different project. I have more Mereshkas in my stash. Unfortunately, they never come back to me with the electronic chart. I think they just ignored me. Or I wish they would say, like, we don't have it and we're not planning to do it, right? Because this, I do understand this is not a recent kit. I think it's very old. It's been in my stash for a while. It's 2019. It's not extremely new, but I think it's... is it older than Realis, which I just showed you? Let me see. No, it's not. Realis is 2013, and this is 2019. I cannot say it's very old, but they the one which I sent to them, they didn't give me any Fantastitch. They didn't send me any files. I was checking. I registered my email, so I did everything what they mentioned in the instruction. So they totally ignored me. But Laura said that they gave her some charts, so they didn't ignore her. And I don't know if they really ignored me, or just they don't respond if they don't have charts, and they do not plan to make them. Their policy just to not respond to these particular requests, right? So maybe that's the policy, which I think is shitty policy. Sorry for my English or French or whatever language you prefer. But I think they would at least need to tell, hey, we are not planning to do this, etc. It's really nice to have that information. So unfortunately, I don't have. I may try with other kids to see if they will give me an electronic chart, but I just don't have a lot of hopes. But inside of Fantastage, they do have a lot of really, really cute charts, like free ones you can download. So I actually grabbed a lot of them. Don't know when I'm going to start, but it doesn't mean I'm going to delete the app just because I'm upset. No, I'm not. I will still try a couple more times to see if they will give me charts. If not, then not. But in this case, when I don't have these type of electronic charts, I'm doing them myself. I'm scanning paper charts. I have a tool where I use it as a background, and etc, etc. It's the whole thing to show. Anyway, like it is a separate, there are videos online, you can search how to do it. So that's what I usually do. And let me tell you, I put it in Saga. I use Saga because I don't have Android. I have only iOS, Apple's. My tablet is Apple, my phone is Apple, and I'm not planning to buy any Android just to have a pattern maker. Is it pattern maker? No, pattern keeper. I'm using pattern maker to do charts, but pattern keeper is the app which almost like 90% of stitchers using for their projects. I'm not going to buy another device just because of that. So I'm using Saga, and let me tell you, it's not even a quarter yet. I still have way long to go to, well, not too much to a quarter of a project, but still not even a half. Trust me, it's a lot. And knowing that this is pretty much a seasonal project, I'm doing it only during spring. Well, it'll take a while. I don't mind. I have about 30 projects. No, I'm lying. What, 30 or is it 40 project? Let me see. I just finished this dimensions, right? So -1. I think I had total, I'm just curious. Let me tell you how much I have. I had 40 projects in progress at the beginning of the year. Right now I have 39 left. And I'm still planning to start. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me because it means that I call it investment into the future, because yes, for the first maybe 3 or 4 years, I may not have a lot of finishes, but if I will every year stitch those which are started and start some ones at some point of my life, maybe not in the upcoming, as I said, 2 or 3 years, maybe in 4 or 5 years, I will start having a period of my life when every single year I will have a lot of finishes, because now all these projects which I have already started, I'm starting right now every single year they will start finishing, right? I will start finishing them, and so, but I need to have a big stash of work in progress for that process. So this is my idea. So I call it investment into the future. Anyway, that is the third project which I staged this week. I am today's Saturday, so I'm still going to do my dimensions, which is like every Saturday. It's gold, that's why. And let me tell you, if you will do 500 stitches for the dimensions gold once a week, you will stitch within a year, you will add on that project about 80% of the project. I added last year on I did it for Aurora Cabin last year. And I have statistics, I have paperwork, which I have numbers and formulas. I didn't, I would tell you that I really, just because on my weeks where I roll super wheel, I don't stitch, I don't take gold, I don't stitch on it, okay? It's kind of every single month I'm missing 1 week for that. So technically I spent about how many 40 something weeks on a project, 1 day a week, and I stitched 75% on it because I didn't take it every week, right? But if you do it every single week, if let's say you don't have this decision wheel, like super wheel like I do, you may actually stitch about 80 to 85% of that project through the year. So you may have dimensions gold, big one, not small, not petite, but gold, big one. You may slowly, on a relaxed mode, finish it like in a little bit over a year. It's not long. It's not long. Anyway, so today that's what I'm going to do. I have this one day which I dedicate it to my Dimensions Gold, which is a holiday village. It's not, I don't have seasonal. I just have one and I drag it through the year. It's a Christmas oriented project. I will show you it soon. It will be in April. I think it might be either in 2 weeks. It's about in 2 weeks. We will look at it. But what I'm trying to say right now is, while I'm going to edit all these videos today, I'm going to stitch that. And I want right now to insert a piece where I use my wheels to decide what I'm going to stitch. I will do voiceover because the way how I created those wheels, that it doesn't repeat me projects which it's already selected. And just because at the beginning of the video I said I'm doing it in 2 languages, right? I already roll it in 1 language. I wouldn't be able to do it in English because it definitely not going to give me the same results. So, and plus I need to reset, and then I'm not going to do, I will try to do voiceover. It will be weird, it will be awkward, but it is what it is. But I'll show you what exactly the wheel gave me, and that one part we will talk about it, and that will be in English, so don't be too disgusted with that one. Anyway, okay, let me insert it and I'll see you in a second. Alright, so now on the screen you see my super wheel. This is the wheel which I roll at the end of every single month, and the project which it is going to show me will be the project with which I'm going to sit at least 4 days in a row, so to give it a bigger boost and bring it closer to the finish line. So let's see what's going to happen. And my project is Dimensions Egret in Flight. This project I actually recently was stitching. Actually, the spring decision wheel, just the regular one, gave me this project about a couple of weeks ago. So I've been stitching it already this season, and that's what I was saying, that usually for some kind of reason, super wheel, which contains every single project which I have, regardless of the season, for some kind of reason it always gives me seasonal ones, which not always, but as I said, like most of the time. Anyway, let me bring that project and we will take a look at it. Actually, guys, give me a few seconds. I forgot that I also rolled a spring seasonal decision wheel, which showed me which project I'm going to stitch in addition to Egret in Flight. So that's pretty much it. After that, I'm going to show you the rest of the video, and that will be it. See you in a second. Now, let's take a look. My voice is going down. I need to drink something. I need to finish it and go and finally have some type of a drink. So my super wheel told me, and that's what I was saying, my super wheel always give me, not always, but 90% of the time, it will give me a seasonal project. So yes, Egret in flight, its dimensions. Regular project, it's not gold, it's this one. As you may see, it's pretty new one. It's new packaging, it's more recent one. Of course, it's a Chinese version. I'm trying to see which year is it. I know they do say which year, but it's always like, you know, you need to find it. Okay, it's a quest to find. So regular, non-gold. I started it last year. So I call it relatively fresh because it's a last year project. Right now I haven't that much. I'll show you how it was. Of course, you will see how it was at the beginning of the week. If I wouldn't forget, not at the beginning of the week, how actually it doesn't matter. I'm not going to show because it doesn't matter. This is IDA 14 count, which is pretty rare for dimensions. Usually they give like 18 or 16, but this is 14 count, this pretty blue color. Let me see, these are the colors. I don't know how good you see this egret. It has white wing. It's really hard to see because I need to backstitch it. I do backstitch here as I go, but this one I just need to stitch around it because if you do stitches like before you stitch around, right? Okay, let me explain. If you do backstitch immediately, knowing that you still have to fill background, when you start filling it in, you are going to ruin your backstitch. It's going to snag on it, it's going to shift it. So that's why I usually stitch around it and then I do backstitch inside. I'm trying to avoid going on empty ones, knowing that then I have to use my needle and try to jump and not ruin my backstitch. So I'm not doing that. But you don't see this wing because it's white. It's really light on light. My plan is I actually want to do this wing, the big one, but probably I will try to go into my lovely bottom right corner, and it means like I'm going to have a lot of reeds, not reeds, but these twigs, this stuff to stitch. That will be a lot of that. Green, green, green. So this is the project which my super wheel gave me, and I will dedicate about 4 days. Oh, that's what I didn't say. That super wheel, it's week where I'm trying to dedicate to a project, not 2 days only, but technically let's call it a week, but I don't do a week. I am not monogamous stitcher, as you may see, and I get really, really tired if I'm stitching the same project very long, like the whole week. I know that. I saw my stats. I had it in last year. I think it was last year. Yeah, I think it was last year. I had a rule that my super wheel, it's those projects which super wheel will give me, I dedicate 5 days in a week to stitch on that particular project. 5 days, which means like I'm trying to give a big boost to a project to make it, get it like closer to the finish line, right? And through the year I understood that even 5 days is too much for me. I have all my stats in Saga, and I can tell you from the first day till the 5th day, my numbers goes down very, very drastically. So if on the first day I can stitch around 600 a day, on my 5th day, I can barely get over 500, and I spend like double of the time to do those 500. So if the first day I can stitch about 600, let's say in 4 hours or 5 hours of stitching, on the 5th day on the same project I can stitch 500 in 12 hours. So you understand, it's kind of, it gets slower and slower, and I understood I'm getting more tired of the project, and I'm not enjoying that project too much. So I decided that this year I will put it down, like take one day out, and I will dedicate to a project 4 days. So that's why next week when I'm going to do the video, you're going to look at pretty much probably 2 projects, maybe 3, we will see. I decided I told myself that not less than 4 days, because where 4 days, then you will switch to 3 days, and then you will switch to 2 days, and what's the point of the super wheel? So I decided not less than 4 days. If I feel like to sit with this on the 5th day, I'll do it. If I don't feel like, I'm not going to bother myself with that. Okay, so that's the idea for this year, to try it this way. So I'm going to sit with this project 4 days, not 4 days in a row, but it's kind of mix and match, but at least 4 days dedicate to this one. And as you saw, I also span, because spawn, it's a different word. A spring seasonal wheel, because I still will have certain days in a week to stitch, right? And for the seasonal, it gave me, golden kite, and you saw it at the beginning of the video. I'm not going to bring it back. That I just can't wait until I will be done for the not for the season, but actually, yeah, I'm done with golden kite. No, not for the season, but I'm glad that I'm done with golden kite this month, and it's not going to come back. Maybe next month it's not going to come back, because I don't have a lot of projects, even though projects are not going to be repeated in my wheel. I still don't have that much that they are not going to, that I have enough for the whole season. At some point, I will have to reset my wheel again during spring. I know it. I checked those projects yesterday. I checked how many weeks till the end of spring I left. I know that I will at some point reset a wheel, so golden kite may come back one more time, but I'm pretty happy that I still left 2 weeks on golden kite, because my spring wheel gave it for this week, and next week I still have like, how many days? We have few more days in a week for the March, and I am still having time to stitch my focus project, which is golden kite, next week also. So 2 more weeks. Hopefully 2,000 more half stitches. Hopefully we will see. With that particular project with golden kite, I am absolutely okay if I'm doing less, because it's very, very difficult one. I'm trying to do 500 half stitches a day, which pretty much mission. It's not impossible, but very difficult. But if I'll do less, I just don't worry about it. Anyway, I think that will be it for today, and I will see you next week. I wish you fast stitches, and I wish you to enjoy your stitching, and happy days, and again, happy spring equinox, and I'll see you next week. Until then, guys, bye bye.